have on the back.
What's going on, beautiful people? I'm the Grandmaster, and I also go by D-Ray, bringing you guys the next episode of the Grandmaster's Table, and I am joined, as always, by my beautiful co-host, Summer. Go and say hi.
Hi.
Today is today's a big one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have a phenom in the Pokemon community, not even just in Pokemon, in just the gaming community. This man does a lot. He's all over the place. He's doing collabs just like this with content creators all over YouTube, all over Twitch. He is one of the best Draft League players, if not on the Mount Rushmore of Draft League, just from how sheer talent and just how all the body bags he's laid out throughout his time in the WBE, the APA, countless other leagues. Please help me in welcoming Joey pokeaimMD.
You don't have to lie to them, like, you know, all this stuff. What's up, everybody? Great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Guys, if you guys are excited for this episode as we are, do us a massive favor and smash the thumbs up button. And again, if you're new, por favor, hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications, hit the bell button so you guys get notified every single time we post a new video. You have to take that breath from me every time I do that.
I have to breathe for you.
So Joey, welcome, man. How you doing? How's everything going?
Things are going well. I actually forgot we were gonna do this, even though my wife had been reminding me every single day, and I've been reminding me as well. And then I'm like, I'm gonna go live on my stream. Oh wait, there's a Discord message. Oh crap, this is nice. Do it.
That's awesome, though. That's how it basically works. Yeah. Summer's the same way for me. It's the schedule holder. I'm not gonna say that they're the secretaries or they keep us in line, but to basically keep us in check.
Yeah.
To ensure that we're keeping ourselves in line and doing the stuff that we need to do. So shout out to your wife. Recently married?
2 years, I would say. Well, yeah, I should say it has been 2 years. Yes, we have been married 2 years.
I should say. Okay, so that's pretty recent. That's pretty recent.
Yeah. I mean, we've known each other since 2008.
Oh, so, dang.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
you guys know. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. We've been dating since 2013. So it's been a long time coming, I guess.
That's amazing,
That's awesome,
though, man. How's the married life? You enjoying it?
Yeah, it's cool. I get to live with my best friend, and we now have a puppy. So it's fun, So
now you have a baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
exactly
they are. Puppies are babies.
They're great, though. Like, she loves me, which I'm really happy about. Both of them. So it's cool.
Both of them.
It's a win-win.
So now we kind of brought them up a little bit about you being a PokeTuber. How long have you been doing this? How long have you been a content creator?
I mean, I've been uploading to YouTube for 10 years now? Yeah, 10 years now. It's insane. I started, I think, back in May of 2010. That's when I made my channel. Wow. So from there, we're kind of just been, moving along with it. I've been obviously really, really enjoying it. I'm very fortunate to be able to, play the game I love every day and make some money off of it too. Because if I wasn't making money, I would not have the luxury of playing the game I love.
Yeah.
Was that the intent? Was that the intent of the beginning? Did you think of it more of as a hobby and then it evolved into what it is today?
No, I think it was always supposed to be a hobby for me, and it just ended up being, more. I'm happy. I mean, one day I hope to make enough money off of this or like investments or whatever I'm doing that I can still do this just for fun and not have to stress. That's why I actually like Patreon too, as just a system, because I can upload whatever I want. People like it and things are good. But yeah, I never thought I'd make something out of this. I'll be honest. I just love Pokemon and I like showing people what I do. And apparently people like watching.
Yeah, you do. You do very well. We'll say that. Now, you in Pokemon in general, how long have you been a fan of the actual franchise itself?
Since it came to America. I think I was around 4 or 5 when it did. So I've been playing it since it literally came out. I had my first game, I watched it on TV. I think the first episode I watched on TV was the first episode they released in the US, which I think was actually the SSN episode, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yes,
yes. Yeah, and then they ended up showing like Pokemon. And I remember seeing Ash, wake up in bed and late and get his first Pokemon type of thing. I was watching. And I watched it for years and years and years. I can't watch it as much now because it pisses me off when they make bad plays. just what happens when you got into the competitive side of it. Like I'll just be there, so, bro. You've been here for like 7 years. Why you quick attacking a Gengar? But I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
The entertainment factor is just not working with me for the draft league side of it. That's funny. Do you when you became a fan of the franchise? Did you so you were a kid, right? Was it gifted to you, or you just stumbled upon the show?
So I used to have like set times when we could actually watch TV. So I was like, oh, you do great. My parents were actually really strict. Well, at least when we lived in an apartment growing up. So, you do well in your quiz or whatever, you can watch some TV. So like Saturdays, or I don't even remember the exact date, but I just kind of stumbled upon it. It was, in the beginning of the episode. So I watched the entire thing. And I was like, wow, Pokemon, this is awesome. And the game was actually given to me by my mom. And I really thank her because, she kind of influenced, I guess, the rest of my life type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Pokemon in general, I'm so thankful for it because it's changed my life in more ways than one. I feel like everybody's, oh yeah, anything can change your life. But no, this is actually like I don't want to say dictating because I have control over what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Yes.
But just, it's a huge part of my life that I could never, give up. And I still get just as excited when a new game comes out and I get to play it as I did back then.
That's awesome.
And that's what makes the contest so much better, when you're still in love with it and you love what you do every single day. It oozes off to your content, and you can definitely tell whenever you put stuff out like that. Now, you being a fan since the Kanto days, if you were we love asking this question to everybody because typically there's a story attached to it for the most part. But if you were to say that if we had to make you choose one Pokemon from Bulbasaur till now to be your absolute favorite of all time, which Pokemon would that be?
Oh, Suicune, for sure. Always has been Suicune. I think it always will be. Just an awesome Pokemon in my opinion. Very, very cool. And the fact that like I love it not only in competitive, but also in just a show in the movies. I thought it was really sick as well. Like I think it's just always such a sick mon, and I've always loved using it too. Like and a lot of people think, oh man, that's such a stall mon. Like yeah, you're damn right it is. It is good at it too.
And it does that one thing good. That's good. At least with the Pokemon that you love is something that's viable in the draft league scene, because you have been thromping people left and right since you started doing draft league. Now, when did you actually begin doing draft league itself?
Was it 2014, 2015? Whatever the season one might have been 2016, but whenever season 1 of the UCL came out.
Since the beginning with Steve.
Yeah. There was Steve. There was no. Steve did the GBA. He actually had invited me to it. Yeah, he had actually invited me to it, but I ended up not doing it just because of the time was kind of bad. I think it was back after 2013. Time was kind of bad. My channel just started to, get a little bit bigger and whatnot, and so I just thought timing was a little bit off. But I ended up joining a draft league with Nappy. I don't want to mention his name too much, but with Nappy and a few other people, and ended up really, really finding a passion for it. I guess it was great. And since then, I think my draft has kind of evolved. I ended up winning that first season, which is pretty cool.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and so my first time playing draft, I ended up winning. But to be
that's
fair,
that's a
good way to start.
To be fair, I was probably the most competitive player there, though. In all reality,
it brings it out of you, because there's that competitive aspect of, it's basically like sports, right? It's our esports version, and if you are super competitive, then it does match up well with your personality. So if you're able to feed into that, it not only makes you more competitive, but it makes you more passionate about the game in general, which can sometimes ooze into your play.
Yeah.
No, I agree completely, and it's just been something that I don't know, I just really, really, really enjoyed, and continue to enjoy now. I think draft is, like I said, fantastic. You get to use cool Pokemon. You get to use them in a way that you don't normally get to see them being used, which is something I like even more about it. And it's just, I don't know, it's so cool to be able to do that. I just love being able to use a Pokemon in a way that you might not normally expect, and it ends up doing just so much from that. So
yeah.
doing a lot of out of box stuff with Pokemon that don't necessarily get the light, essentially, which gives it a little bit more of a fun aspect to it.
Exactly.
Who is it that we talked about? I think it was Shuckle King. Shuckle King is the one who was talking about how when you ladder on the Pokemon Showdown ladder with a lower tier, it makes it actually beneficial for you in Draft League because it gives you that opportunity to use Pokemon that aren't necessarily as popular as like OU or UU Pokemon. And then being able to do it in Draft, it makes you more accustomed to using those smaller Pokemon. Now, I know that you are all up on the Showdown scene as well. Would you say that you find yourself enjoying Draft League more than Showdown or vice versa?
I mean, it's tough because my passion is, I mean, I don't get to do it as much, but I mean, my passion is definitely, Wi-Fi battles and whatnot. And with what they did to the game, they took out, certain parts of it and what we could do. It really sucked. It really sucked, like, not being able to play full games and whatnot. And I started with Wi-Fi battlings on my channel, right? And eventually, so it started with Wi-Fi battles. I would upload like an occasional clip from Shoddy Battle because I used to play Shoddy Battle. And then PO Lives became Pokemon Online, which was another server or way that people used to play, just like Shoddy. Just like Showdown. I put that up and people eventually started liking those a lot. And then it became like 50-50 Wi-Fi battles and Showdown Lives as well from after Pokemon Lives, Showdown Lives. And it came to the part where people didn't like watching as many Wi-Fi battles. And also I got better at the game as I kept going. And it got really hard to find a Wi-Fi battle that was, worth putting up. Especially because all the stuff we did back then was post-com. So it's really hard to explain why my opponent made X play if I have to, it's just a 5060 beatdown and I got to narrate it after. Truth be told, probably could have just done live com back then and everything would have been great. And I would probably be uploading just as many Wi-Fi battles as I do it. But just being able to play Draft League and every week, I really look forward to it because I love the way the game looks. I love being able to use Pokemon Wi-Fi. Something like that. Like, I mean, I could open up. I mean, I'm on Showdown right now, just watching some games as we talk, just because it's something in the background. And it's easy to do it, but I don't feel that same connection, I guess, to the Mon, which is, I guess, weird at the same time as data at the end of the day. But like if they had a 66 ladder, like even they had in Let's Go, even though Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was kind of what made the terrible timer to begin with, the 20-minute timer, and they kind of just kept going with that. I'd still be playing like probably every day. You see like a Showdown Live and a Wi-Fi battle, but I think I do prefer, like, at least currently, drafting, specifically Wi-Fi battling if it's 66 to Showdown, just because I do Showdown so much, and it's great, and it makes the reason Showdown's so great is because everybody can use it.
Can use it. It's accessible to everyone.
The accessibility makes it a lot more popular because if everybody can do it, then obviously you're going to try it out if you have that opportunity.
But Wi-Fi definitely is a lot prettier to watch.
It's a lot prettier to watch. It's more entertaining. It makes it a lot easier on the eyes. Obviously.
No, I agree. Though it can be a little bit slow at times, which is why people liked Postcom. But I mean, I grew up in the generation where everybody did Postcom, so people were lying about them predicting stuff. And
of course. 100%. You'd be talking about a crit, not a crit, but a higher roll. Like, I expected that roll. He's dead.
No, that's exactly. You're 100%. That is your pride. I don't know how long you've been watching, but that's basically what Bingsville used to happen. And I don't like that per se. Even I, like, if I made a play and they randomly switched, I was like, oh, okay, I predict that. Might as well. It makes me look better. But like now, no, you don't do that. You got to be truthful with your plays. Of either you. That's why I like LiveCon and I like watching other people do LiveCon. Actually, I think after I'm gonna be streaming the WB just to watch people play.
Nice.
Because I like watching and seeing people's thought process and saying if I agree or disagree with X, Y, Z, and then going from there.
Now, I wanted to talk about this because I think that Summer and because the other day I was watching your battle, the most recent battle for the WBE that you just posted on Sunday, with Steve, and a good buddy of ours. He was also on the Grandmaster's table. Shout out to Steve. I bring this up because you talked about how you like to discuss whenever a battle's done, or you like to talk about how the battle went, the thought process of what went behind it, etc., etc. What was the idea behind getting in call with your opponents? Because me as a player, I understand why, right? You want to bring in Steve. Why did you make X play? Why did you bring X this? And basically understanding the ground rules of why which team you brought what. Now Summer Summer obviously doesn't know the game as much as we do, so her first thought process was, did she just want to talk to Steve to talk smack?
Yeah, I was like, does he just want to do this and like be like, okay, so let's talk about how I like 3-0 your, like how I beat your ass.
So where did that all come about?
Originally, the reason I started getting into calls is because I hacked Monotui in my season 1. This is my first time ever playing in the GBA, and I hacked Monotui. And I was like, people are gonna talk so much crap to me. So I was like, okay, let's get in call and see, like, talk through it. Like, I won because of the hacks. I played to it, but I won because of it. So I'm like, I don't want that to happen. So let's get in call. Let's see what happens. Let's talk it out. And it ended up being something that people really enjoyed.
Yeah.
And since then, I've been doing it, and a lot of people have actually liked it as well, just doing it with me, because they said to me that it gives them closure of the game, like whether they played well.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, like a lot of people, like if I hack an opponent, wait, what are you gonna say? Like if I play you in a game, right? I'll be like, have fun in the beginning, and then I'll say good game when it's done, and that's it. What if I hacks the hell out of you, bro? That's not like, do you really want to see that? Like,
not at all. I can see that. Where you want to get those a couple words extra, but you just can't. It's just goodbye. Have a great rest of your day. I see what you're saying. I feel that as a player, I definitely do. It's I just think it's funny because Summer's reaction, because Steve didn't necessarily get the best end of that stick.
Yeah, he sounded a little disappointed.
He was definitely upset.
Yeah, he sounded upset. Yeah.
But Steve, Steve's a great sport. I just thought it's a funny concept to be able to not only get that extra word, but to get that little element of like, it's over. We won.
Yeah.
Beast. So the WBE, you've been in every season since the beginning. You are in the most.
Oh.
Not. I don't think I was in the first or second season. I don't.
Were you?
I don't think so. But I've definitely been in it for a while now.
You were very right. Yes. My mistake. But yes, you've been doing the WBE, you've been doing the APA, you've been in the GBA, you've been in UCL, all these leagues. Has there been a league that's meant most to you, or winning a game or a league in general that just drove you just a little bit more than any other?
I mean, definitely season 1 of the UCL. I think I kind of underestimated a lot of my opponents, and I don't think I underestimated a lot of my opponents, but it was more so the fact that, like, because I was the best battler there, I would say, there was a lot for me that I had to, there was a lot of pressure. So, like, I play competitive Pokemon, and let's take Shady Penguin, for instance. He's my boy. Shady doesn't play the most, but he obviously, plays an okay amount of competitive Pokemon. And me, who battles every single day, if I lose to Shady, it's gonna look bad on me. So I wanted, or what I needed to do was make it. There was a lot of pressure, basically, is what I'm trying to say. There was so much pressure in every single game, and I really, it meant a lot when I was winning, it meant a lot when I was losing, and to actually win, like, the person I played actually froze me, A-Drive, in the finals. He froze me in our actual game, and I was a little bit salty, not gonna lie. I was a lot salty. Let's be honest, I was a lot salty. But to be able to like, to be able to play in the finals and be able to win, it just meant so much to me. And I'm kind of known for being hacked to having a really good regular season and then being hacked in playoffs. It's happened a lot.
Yeah.
So a lot. So
Dang.
that one, to have it be the reverse, I guess, even though it was the beginning, the start, meant a lot to me. It definitely, like, persuaded me to keep doing draft. Like, wow, this is something that people actually like. I really like this, and it's, I could see use a damn Tangrowth. I mean, Tangrowth is OU, but I could see use a Vanillix, and Vanillix is incredible. Like, Vanillix is now my favorite Pokemon in draft, like, ever. And it's just an ice cream. It does the same thing every week with Blizzard and Freeze Dry. But
it's funny you brought that up, because I was telling my group of friends that we hang out with, we call ourselves the Goons. You know a couple of them, John Jr., Dietite,
yes,
OG Albina. a lot of us talk on a daily basis, and we call ourselves, there's a server in Discord, it's called the Goondocks. And I told them, I was like, hey, I'm going to bring a Vanillix, because I've been wanting to bring Vanillix in my BBR team before the transactions came up, just because I see we were talking about how Vanillix is such a great Pokemon. And I know that you've come out multiple times and you said that it's become your favorite Pokemon to use in Draft League. Where did that stem from? Is it just from recent use in your most recent seasons, or is it something that you have been wanting to use and it's just panned out perfectly?
So I had a Vanillix, a little love for Vanillix when I played for the Smogon Premier League, which is a tournament on Smogon. And I played in OU, and I 6-0 my opponent in OU with a Vanillix.
Jeez.
This was like a couple months ago, actually. So I was like, wow, this Pokemon is really freaking good. All I got to do is get it in and click Blizzard. And so I got in the APA as well. And I had like Melmetal, Rillaboom, Grimmsnar. So I had a whole bunch of supporters. And that Mon, despite, having Grassy Surge, Rillaboom, Melmetal, and all that stuff, that Mon was my kill leader. And it just did every single week. All it did was click Blizzard, click Freeze Dry. I doubled into it and did damage. And it was, I don't know, it was just like, I got it, and I've used it on like Showdown Lives too, and I really liked it, and I really always underestimated it. I know whenever I played it too, it was always such a giant threat. So, to see or to have that Mon come in and just do so much work was every single time I was just like, oh man, I gotta keep using this Mon for sure. And it just became my favorite just from there. Just a lot of using it and a lot of just reusing it over and over.
Yeah.
And like, damn, this Mon great.
It's your ace
ice
now.
cream.
It's an ice cream cone. It's your ace now, which is you would never guessed.
Exactly. Like it's not like it's an incredible Pokemon one, but also it's just it doesn't matter if you know what it's gonna do, right? Like, okay, cool, I'm clicking Specs Blizzard. Yeah, well, give me like 1,000,000% on your Pokemon. So it's just like that. That's just like it is. Even if I love it because it's a Pokemon that gets like kills for itself. So, for example, I go for Blizzard and you have a Steel type. Your Steel type takes 30%, and then you take 6% from Hail. Great. Well, next time you get to it KO'd. You know what I mean? So, rolls and stuff. So like, it's just that type of Mon, and that's why I really, 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 really like that Mon.
It's a reliable Pokemon. So for those who are starting in Draft League, make sure you listen to pokeaimMD and you draft Vanillix, because the Pokemon is phenomenal. Now, shifting gears over to your other side that isn't the non-Pokemon related side, what is it that you do outside of Pokemon? I know that you do this full-time, correct? Yeah. So you're a full-time content creator. What is it that you do in your downtime?
I chill with my wife, obviously watch the puppy, take her to class and stuff like that too. Obviously with COVID, we're pretty, we're trying to be safe, not trying to be stupid, during anything. So, I do that. I actually am heavily into like investing, both
awesome.
cryptocurrency and stocks. I'm actually more so into cryptocurrency now, because stocks are like for old people, and I'm not trying to get money when I'm old. I'm trying to have money, when I'm young and can enjoy it.
Yep.
So, so I've been really enjoying like that sort of thing, and goes going from there. So I've been really fortunate with that. I talked to a lot of people, have a lot of good friends. I'm actually have a few jobs lined up as well if this doesn't work out for me, because I have a few business partners that I like.
Wow.
But like, I'm at the point where I would love for it to work out for me. So let's kind of just keep doing it if we can.
Yeah.
It continues to just go from there. Because I love what I do. It's a blessing, and but I also work really hard. I try and upload, try and be on top of it. Even
100%. There's the grind aspect that a lot of people that don't see, because you pump out content very consistently. Yes. The one thing that you can always count on is hit the home button on your YouTube account, and Joey's going to post a video. Now, people don't necessarily see the grind side of that. Do you do all of that stuff yourself, or is there a team behind you that helps you with your video editing, producing, all that fun stuff?
Well, for years I did it all by myself, but actually back in November I was at my boy Adri's house for his 252-hour marathon. First time I ever been invited, and I basically like I said, it was my first time ever being invited, and I was in Connecticut, which does not have the best Wi-Fi. So my boy Pedro, who'd been doing a lot of graphics for me and stuff throughout the years, I asked him if it was possible to can you do some graphics for me for this? He did it, but it would take me like 40 minutes to upload a video that was like 5 minutes long to send him. So at a point, and he'd send it back to me, and then he edit it and I render it, and it'd take me forever to upload it as well. So eventually it came down to me asking, hey man, can you actually edit this for me? Like, that would be fantastic. I wouldn't have to worry about it at all. And he said, yeah. And we ended up going like on a retainer. And like I said, I've been working with him for years. He's a dude who did my all my Drop of Draco merch, right? He did all my Drop of Draco merch from the literal beginning. And yeah, I just been like working with him ever since, and he does a lot of my editing for my guys. That's why the quality has probably gone up a lot ever since I started working with him. I also have a business partner for YouTube, or content. She was a content manager for a little bit, and she would basically, her name is Yink, and I've been friends with her for years as well. She would basically write like reply all my emails, because I hate replying to emails, man. Like I like talking, but I don't like typing.
Yeah.
So especially because I was raised with AIM, which is part of how I got my name.
Yeah.
So like I talk in fragments, and because I'm like, oh crap, nobody's gonna listen to me if I write out full sentences. It take me 5 minutes to get a whole essay out there. So I got her on as well. She helped me get a salary from my people, Temple Storm. She got me in touch with the Pokemon International, Pokemon Company International, which is cool. He's done a lot of stuff for me in terms of like sponsorships and things. And then, so they're kind of all part of the team. She runs my website as well, pokeaimMD.com. And at that point, they're just kind of just part of the team Pokéaim, I guess you could say. And then I obviously work with my people at Temple Storm as well. So for a long time, it was me. But up until about November, it kind of became a unit, I guess you could say.
That's still phenomenal. A long time, though, doing it all by yourself, Because
there's a grind aspect to this, right? And sometimes it's phenomenal that you do have a team, because it benefits us, that you get to wrap your mind around whatever content that you want to make, thus making your content so much better and so much easier to enjoy. Whenever content creators get stressed out, a little overwhelmed, it can sometimes reflect on the content that they produce. And the fact that you have a team behind you allows you to just give us the good stuff every single time. And we appreciate that 100% of the time.
It helps.
And guys, the Pedro he's referring to, obviously you guys are following my channel. Pedro actually produced the graphics for the Breedjex Battle Royale, and the graphics are absolutely phenomenal. Again, I'll leave a link down in the description below. Make sure you check him out. Obviously he's a busy guy, but go check out his stuff whenever the moment that he goes into his little info on Twitter, his bio, and he says commissions open, send him a DM, because my lord, this guy is a phenomenal artist. He does great stuff. All the things you see on Joey's channel, it's all on him. Great stuff, phenomenal. I love the neon aspect of that.
Oh yeah, it's probably my favorite of when you're doing stats in the beginning. I love that. It's so it looks so different. Builders? Yeah, the team builders, it looks so cool.
Hey, I appreciate it. Yeah, I love the stuff he does, and we kind of got inspired by what was it? Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu. I could definitely see that.
See that.
That's
now.
So cool.
Look at that. So make sure you guys go check that out.
So you kind of touched on it. I had a question on how you came up with your name. You kind of touched on it a little bit.
See, we're in sync. Good job.
Yeah, you're welcome. I read your mind.
So, I mean, basically what I did was there's Cerebi IRC chat, which is like a place where you could chat and like, get people to trade with you and do a whole lot of different things. So I went there. I was looking for battles and whatnot, and I got challenged by someone called MD Porygon. So I actually had to make a name, and I liked Pokemon. I liked AIM because it's obviously a big part of things I've been doing. So I decided to make the name, Pokéaim, because I thought, okay, yeah, I'm on AIM right now and Pokemon, so I kind of worked together. And I got challenged by this dude, MD Porygon. I think I beat him. I think I was using hack Pokemon. I don't remember. So I ended up playing him. I think I beat him. He invited me to his clan, Mass Destruction, which is it was pretty cool because it's a place where people actually battle in Pokemon and stuff, and I got to experience that myself, and really just, I guess, go from there. Like he said, "Hey, you want to come to my clan?" I was like, "Okay, cool, why not?"
You almost won yourself in a way.
Yeah, basically.
You earned the name.
Yeah.
basically. So I got in, and ended up joining it. Obviously, ended up enjoying it as well, and basically continued kind of just to go from there. Like the fact that I played him and everything. I beat him. I played other people like MD Exterior, and I actually was having trouble with my laptop, and I couldn't put MD in the front of my name for whatever reason with brackets. So I ended up becoming pokeaimMD with the MD on the back with brackets because it was the only way it would work. And it kind of just stuck when I made my channel. In fact, some of my first 50 subs were people from IRC. Some of them are still around back from 2010.
Wow, that's commitment right there.
This almost sounds kind of like an esports organization. Is that typically was that something that you would classify it as?
Less like an esports organization,
kind of,
more like just a chat room where people like to battle and talk, and clan wars. So like it was a literal clan. So like there'd be like a whole bunch of other people. Like I had MD, but there was like L2K, which was like live to kill, because we're all edgy teenagers, I guess, back then. DA, which was like Dragons Alliance, because who doesn't like dragons? I guess I don't know. I love dragons, but so yeah, like all that stuff, and we would play people frequently. Made a name for myself there. Would battle people all the time, and I actually lost a lot in the beginning. But I started winning, started realizing patterns, started noticing stuff. This is back during Gen 4, and kind of just took it from there. Became pokeaimMD. Originally because I wanted to show other people my Wi-Fi battles, because I would see other Wi-Fi battles on YouTube. A lot of them inspired me, like MBZ, Xerxes, Shadow Project, all the people, Xenon. I'd see all these people, Black Lazarus and things like that. And I was like, wow, I love this. And truthfully, I was like, I think I can beat them. I want to upload it. I want people to see this. So it was a little bit selfish of a starting, but eventually it became, it always became a part. I want to show people my battles, and I want to teach people how to play. And, it kind of just stayed like that ever since. Mix up a little bit of entertainment, hopefully. From there, I feel like, though, my channel is, unless I'm with friends, it's more, I guess, serious tone almost. Yeah, you get a little taste of my personality, just a little taste.
In a way.
But then if you come to my Twitch, I'm just like a different person. I guess.
Yourself.
I'm more myself in it. But if you watch a video with me and my friend, like today I put up something with my buddy Envy, and I'm so sarcastic towards him because he's my boy, so we could talk like that.
Yeah.
We love Envy. Envy was on the podcast as well, and he's got such a calm demeanor to himself that I definitely see what you're saying, because he's the way that he speaks just makes you so mellow that in a way it's almost funny to whenever he like posts a joke or something. It just makes it twice as funny, just because it's so unexpected, just from his low mellow tone. So Envy is phenomenal. I love that guy.
Oh, he's great.
Now I love that the fact it's almost like the way you kind of earned your name. It's almost comparable to, like, not necessarily comparable, but like if you think the Face Clan, how they almost put their clan name into their specific names. It's cool that you have a history to your specific name, because typically you'll find a name where you're just like, oh, I like this, I'm gonna put that on there.
Oh, okay, this works.
This sounds cool.
Good.
I'm gonna throw this on YouTube. But the fact that this has a big story and a meaning to you, it makes it so much better. So she's always been curious. I actually never knew, so that's a phenomenal story. I love that.
Thank you. It was actually a little funny thing behind it. I think I made my name, it might have been February 15th, 2010. It might have been a little bit before that, but that was like the name that was like, I looked at one of the forums before they got taken down a couple years back, said February 15th, 2010. That's also when I started dating. I started dating Marlene. She became my girlfriend, I think February 15th, 2013. So it's a pretty cool little
connections.
Trip down to memory lane in a way.
That's cool.
Yeah. I also made my channel on the 15th, type of thing. So I was like,
wow, 15 is your number.
That's your number.
That's
that
crazy.
casino and drop it on the 15, bro, because it's there. The signs are pointing. Joey, I have to bring this to light a little way. You're a very good looking guy. Okay, you're very good. You have a very strong. Listen, this is how I'm going to start it off, because it's just to kind of bring a light to it. Now,
Summer.
Summer, I need to leave the room now. Strong jawline, amazing voice. Where is it that you're from?
I am Puerto Rican and Italian. My mom is Puerto Rican.
See, I knew it.
My dad is Italian.
Interesting.
I get a lot of it from. I think I just get it from both of them. I look a lot like my dad. But I have a lot of my mom's personality, a lot stronger personality from her. I think the jawline actually comes from my mom. Like more than my dad, like, type of thing. But definitely I'm a little cross between them. Even though I guess if you look at my picture, I'm very white. I'm like the whitest one in my family. Like even my dad. I mean, we're Italian and Puerto Rican, so I should be able to tan, but that is not the case when it comes to me. So I'm like the whitest. My dad is like darker than me. I'm like, Dad, you're like pure Italian. Like,
that's hilarious.
Where did these genes go? But yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you for calling me attractive. Throw
that on the podcast and put Nick known. I would have guessed that you. Where is it that you reside right now? Where do you guys live? Because I'm gonna make a guess that you've shed light that you are Puerto Rican Italian. Do you live on the East Coast, like on the coast?
Course,
do you live in New York?
Of course.
I do live in New York. Born and raised in the Bronx, Boricua in the Bronx. But I'm much like New York, Puerto Rican. My Spanish is terrible, but that's a lot more my fault than it is anything else. But I personally live in Queens now. I moved to Queens about 2 years ago. Got my first place when I moved out of my parents. Because they were like, hey, you're making a lot of noise. They support me so much, and they've always. My mom bought the computer I'm still using right now. Like
that's awesome.
On a loan that I paid her back. Yeah. So I moved out because they were like, hey, you're making too much noise. I was like, you got to move. And I was like, okay, bet.
You gotta move.
No, they didn't say you got to move. They just said you got to be quiet or you got to move out. I think they were like
sounds like a typical Italian family.
Yeah, they were half joking, but I'm really like, if I feel like doing something, I'm gonna do it on a whim. That's it.
Yeah.
So I got my apartment like the next day, type of thing. Like, okay, cool. It's 3 a.m. I found this apartment. Let's go. Come with me.
That's awesome. You're a go-getter. That's so dope.
Yeah.
What's life like out there? I've always been curious because you live in Queens, right? Because we live in San Diego.
Yeah,
we live on the opposite side of the country.
I know, because he said he's like Puerto Rican and Italian, and I'm Mexican and Italian, but so Mexicans are on the West Coast. So yeah, San Diego West Coast. Nice. Yeah,
it's a good mix though. But I mean, right now, it's not the best, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
You got people wearing masks and people not wearing masks.
Yes.
So everything's kind of like quiet. I guess life is slowly but surely getting back to normal. But there's a lot of mix of people. Where I live, it's a good mix. There is, a lot of Asian people, depending, because I live in Flushing. So Flushing is really a predominant Asian.
Okay.
But where I lived in the Bronx, it was an Italian neighborhood that had a lot of Dominican, a lot of African American, and some mixture of that. So it was really good. Where I originally lived in the Bronx for our apartment, it was very, very diverse. It was actually voted the worst apartment in New York.
You get where you can get in.
It gives you character. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it did. So we moved the hell out of there. But it's all right out here. I mean, a lot of people are, I guess, rude and mean. At times, I don't know if it's rude or mean, but it's like
headstrong.
Yeah, exactly. Like I went to Guatemala, not recently, but I went to Guatemala last year to meet some of our lean side of the family and whatnot. And everybody's so nice. And obviously, my mom raised me like in a well. It's like, hey, how are you? Hi, I'm great. I'm doing well. Nice to meet you. And, obviously when I go there, I say things in Spanish, but it's so different than when you come over here. Hey, how are you? Like, get out of my way.
That's what I hear, because New Yorkers are just like about their business.
Yeah, it's almost like as if they're trying to get from point A to point B so fast that no matter what's intercepting
they
you
just
the way,
like get on my way
through it.
Yeah,
basically.
We're more chill over here in the West Coast.
In a way,
it's a lot more chill than. I mean, I've never been to New York, but from people that I know that are from New York, it's a lot more chill down here for sure.
Right. I mean, I'd rather have rude people than earthquakes, tsunamis, droughts.
Fires.
Yeah, exactly.
Fire every year. Yeah,
we probably have about 2-3 fires.
That's true. We always have freaking fires.
Yeah, I was in San Diego actually. I think last year.
Okay.
For a charity event.
Oh, cool.
So,
awesome.
it's pretty cool.
We'll move you out here. Patty's in Vegas, so we'll get a bunch of content creators together. We'll just as soon as this whole pandemic is over, we'll be very safe. But we'll get that up. We'll party that up at the time. We'll show you around the real San Diego.
Yeah, for real.
We'll see if it ever ends in the U.S.
I know.
For real.
It feels that way sometimes, which is unfortunate. I know that for us content creators, life didn't necessarily change as much because the extroverts turned into introverts because now we're stuck inside. We had to kind of distance ourselves from people. Did you find that it affected you doing your content? Since you were forced to be inside, did you produce more? Did it change anything for you at all?
So I actually work less now than when it was no pandemic because Marlene had a job. But now that she's home and we have a puppy as well. Yeah, now that she's home and we have a puppy, I have like set hours. Before it was like she goes to work, I'm like, oh, I'm chilling the whole day. Shoot, I won't even brush my teeth. I don't feel like it, you know what I mean? Like, that's a joke, but like, but yeah, now I definitely work less. But I also think I stream more than I do. Like I still upload, once, twice every day on YouTube, depending on how I'm doing it. CPM obviously went lower, so the amount we were paid for videos got a lot lower. I remember the first month of COVID, March going into April. So the month of April, I made more in one day on Twitch, my first day on Twitch streaming for like a subathon, than I did in 45 videos in the entire month before. So it was like crazy to say that like YouTube was really bad, but I mean nobody's buying for advertisers when everything's shut down. Everything's going crazy.
That's crazy.
Do you find yourself kind of leaning more towards the want to do more Twitch stuff versus doing content for YouTube?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I love making videos. Like I wake up every day and like, man, I love my job, the type of thing. So it's like, I just like love playing Pokemon, being able to share it. And then Twitch is a whole different thing. The thing is, Twitch is easier in a sense that I just talk to people and chill there, but it's also hard because I got to talk to people and chill there. You know what I mean? Like, it's like 2-3 hours streaming then versus, hey, half an hour, make a video, edit it, do all this, get a thumbnail, let me go eat in between while it's rendering and do all this. Can't do that. I mean, I can do that on Twitch, but
it's more interactive on Twitch too.
Yeah. And I'm a very interactive streamer too. Like I'll talk to everybody. It doesn't matter if I have 50 viewers or like 6,000 viewers, I'll talk to everybody in my chat if they ask me a question, even if they repeat the question, which a lot. When sometimes, like when I was like at a dance house with 252, there'd be like 6,000 people, and every 5 minutes they'd ask me, "What's a good Luxray set?" And I'd be finishing saying a good Luxray set, and then somebody else would be like, "Yo, what's a good Luxray set?" Like, bro. So
you're saying the same thing for half an hour.
That's not even an exaggeration. I think Luxray, Crocodile, Lycanroc Dusk, and Zoroark were the most asked for Pokemon for 3 days straight.
That's interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was cool. I actually did like video guides based on like things that people were asking me. And I noticed that those had like higher views. And like, I guess this is what people are trending for.
Yeah,
or like people are looking for.
Yeah, you got to give the people what they're asking for. That's good.
Basically.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep asking after too.
Exactly. Yeah. In the comment section, asking you the question.
There's a playlist. I'll leave a link down below. Go check it out.
Yeah.
So transitioning over to Twitter, because guys, if you guys aren't following me already at Grandmaster D, whenever we have a guest here in the Grandmaster's table, we'd like to announce who they are and give you guys the opportunity to shoot your shot. If you guys have any questions for any content creators that come on with us, that way you guys can get a little bit more personalized approach and experience with them while they're here on the podcast. So we did get a couple questions already here on what we posted today. So we're gonna go through a couple of those, and then you go ahead and answer away however you'd like. And just like we said before, be in court to do your thing. And there's a couple of really good ones that actually I'm interested in. The first question that I see here is from @ShayQuaza, a good buddy of ours. He asks you, how was the experience being on the Pokemon Cypher, and how did you like being on GE's album as well?
Oh, Pokemon Cypher was great. I mean, I didn't really care about like recording with my buddies is great, but just being able to see people that I rarely get to see. Like I've been friends with Shofu and Scoop for years. Shofu since like 2010, 2011 type of thing. So being able to meet up with him and some of our other boys was awesome. Got to meet people like Duncan as well, and obviously got to hang out with Envy. I think that was my first time meeting Envy. I would say that back in 2016. I think that was my first time meeting Envy, or it might have been my second time. I know he slept over my house before as well. I don't remember when. But like just being able to just chill with my friends, have fun, rap about Pokemon or whatever. It was so cool too, because like I really love my verse, because my verse was just super me. Obviously it wasn't like as like it could have been like, I know it could have been better. There's a lot of stuff I could have said. I could have been like, he probably would have been eating it out of my hand if I said like, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Pikachu, whatever Gen 1 nostalgia. whatever it was. But the fact that I got to say things that had to do with me, and then I saw this one reaction from this guy that I know, for these two guys these brothers that I know watched me, and they were just so hyped. He's like, that's why I like this. Like they know he said the catchphrase. Everything like that. Right? So that stuff was fun. And I had my boys hyping me up, and being on G's album was cool too. Obviously, that was less of in-person experience, more of I did a couple vocals. I said a couple things for him, and that was about it. But like just being able to meet GE as well was so cool too. Like all great people, had a lot of fun. Really wish we had a few more days, honestly, to do things like that. And I look forward to hanging out with them, at a point wherever life gets better. Yeah.
Can we ever expect any content like that music-wise from pokeaimMD? Already has the rap name ready to go.
I mean, I've had a song made since 2016 as well. I've never put it out.
Oh. Joey, you can't do that to us now.
Give it to the people.
You gotta give it to the people now.
It was a Mimic You diss back then.
Daniel's gonna cry. Daniel's ending this call now.
So I don't know if you're aware. I have two teams. My main team is the San Diego Snugglers, and Mimikyu. Mimikin's the Mimikyu from the anime is the mascot. So I'm not obsessed with Mimikyu.
You're obsessed with Mimikyu, don't lie.
It's a phenomenal Pokemon. I mean, saying.
It's my favorite ghost type. To be
fair. Yeah, okay, see? Friendship restored. That's awesome.
It's my favorite ghost or favorite fairy. It's one of those. It was on my list.
Hey, my man. The next question that we have here on Twitter is from @PantherSlick, which is Slick Panther. It's a couple different parter. The first part that he asks is, what is your favorite memories from competitive Pokemon? We'll put that one out there first.
Okay, that's tough. A lot of stuff with my friends. There's just been like, I don't know, like I feel like there's just been screams or just moments with friends where we've just been laughing like the whole day. I remember like constantly during summers of like 2013, 2014, we'd just be staying up till 9 o'clock in the morning, just playing Pokemon, laughing at call, listening to the 2013 Cypher and just like doing whatever we want. And this is with the group of people that were on the Cypher too. Like, just laughing and doing all that. Like memories like that are just so good. Like just being able to spend time with friends. And that's what I really like as well about Pokemon. Like something that always, like I love Pokemon, but also something that always keeps me coming back is I've made such great friends through it. And I'm able to talk to these guys every day, like more than even like my IRL friends type of thing, just because they're there, we're collabing with each other, we're chilling, we're just talking and call. So anything that really is just things like that. But those memories just bring me way back. Like people like Blunder, Jam, Moet, Envy, etc. They're just doing that.
This man just dropping just behemoths in the YouTube community. That's a honking list you got there. That's cool that you guys have that relationship. Would you? This is gonna kind of insert my question a little bit now that we're on that subject. Since this is your group of friends that obviously they do have a big following on the platform, do you guys ever talk about? You obviously do collabs. But do you guys ever kind of stick around the same genre of stuff, like kind of feed off of each other idea-wise, spitballing? Like, do you think this would be better?
For sure. When I like, for example, I'll be like, "Yo, Blender, what are you putting out today?" "Oh, I'm putting out Poipo sucks on the ladder." I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll put out Poipo's actually really good tomorrow." Then we definitely do things together. We plan things out. We talk with each other about titles or videos and thumbnails. Like MB took a lot of convincing, but I got him to like change up his titles and change up his thumbnails. He was talking about like growing and stuff like, bro, you want to do it? You got to do that. And then he's actually doing it. So now you'll see like MB before I post the video, what do you think about this title? Do you have a good title for this? And I'll give him a suggestion. And then I'll say, what do you think about this thumbnail? I was like, this is really good. Maybe make the Terrakion bigger type of thing. And, go from there. So we definitely talk about that. We talk a lot about like things outside of Pokemon too. Which is like part of the reason why I love these guys. Like,
it's the friendships that you develop while you're doing all this content stuff. I feel that because we do have the same thing, and that those connections will stick with you even farther if you decide to go away from the platform. And that's what's important, being able to kind of have those connections and make those lifelong friends that just make it worth it.
Yeah, exactly. I know they have my back outside of Pokemon. They've helped me in things, and I've helped them in things as well. So it's been nice, being able to.
100%. And then Slick's second part of his question, he says, bit controversial, LOL, but out of the IDM crew, pick top 5 most skilled players in your opinion.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, I guess the top 5 most skilled would be the ones that play the most, right? So I put myself up there. I'll probably put Blunder. I'll probably put Jambad. I'm not going to count like CTC or CEB because they don't play as much anymore. But probably like MV and then Chipback or Moet type of thing. Depends though. If I had to put the other two, I put them as well up there. It's hard to rank because we don't really like care as much in terms of that. Like we know when we need to win, we will.
Yeah.
But like it's not like we're going out of our way. Like this is not years ago. Like I'd enter tournaments all the time, but now it's like I played the same people for so many years. Even though I did just join a tournament, but I played the same people for so many years. I'm getting tired of playing them all the time. So I'd rather
iron sharpens iron, man.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, if I gotta play my people, I'll play my people. Like Jam's type person. Like if we gotta collab with somebody, if I gotta collab with him, I'll actually be in call with like 4 hours. Like crap, we gotta record the video because we'll just be talking about life and
that's awesome.
And I'd rather play him than play the same person in a small one tournament every single time.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
I like that. And then the third part of his question, this is actually a really good one. He says, in your videos, first part's a good compliment. He says, in your videos, you always have such positive energy. Do you find that it is always better just to look at the positives in life? I think what he's referring to is like, do you think that the positives in your life kind of help you being more optimistic, kind of helps translate you being that persona on YouTube?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm usually myself. Like even if it's like a form of myself. Like I mean, and just to explain that, if I go to an interview or if I'm gonna talk different in an interview than if I'm talking with my boy type of thing. Or I'm gonna talk different with my boss than if I'm talking with my best friend.
Yep.
Not like it's not about me. It's just there's a more professional setting or more professional branding. It's like time and place. So I definitely do have this positive outlook on life, and I don't know, maybe it's the way my parents raised me, or maybe it's just the fact that like I have a lot of hope for the future. Whether it be with investments or what I want to do, and I have a lot of great people supporting me. Maybe that's the big thing that has it. I would say that I'm not always the most positive. Definitely, especially during road to top 10. That, if anything, is the only thing that tilts me the most as a person. But I think a lot of this is also the fact that like, they'll see me get critical hit like 7 times and like laugh it off type of thing. But it's mainly, I think a lot of that is just like I've built an immunity or resistance to it rather after doing it for years. Like, oh man, that's the same crit that happened to me in 2007. Like
it like strikes a nerve a little bit. You're just like, oh no, they're here. It's happening again.
But I definitely think it's better to look at the positive parts of life. But that's not to say that like the negative or the sad isn't important. And obviously the way you look at things, like let's take death for instance, right? When my grandmother passed away, I was obviously sad, but I love to look at like the good times I had with her. I like to remember the good times I had with her. Like, I mean, I love this person. We'd make me pasta all the time, and we'd watch like Discovery Channel or Pokemon together type of thing. And so I mean, I just think that like you're a happier person as well. Not to say to fool yourself, but like if you're so negative all the time, man, I don't want to bring that everywhere with me. That's just that's a burden. That's a burden.
Yeah.
Yep.
It really is.
Yep. For real.
Whenever
I also like, you learn from, if you're doing it right, you learn from the negative times in your life, and I feel like you become more of a positive person by that learning experience. Definitely. And I lost my train of thought, so go ahead and
Atta girl. Which is basically trying to say is that the negative experiences mold you to what's going on now. So the fact that you're so positive on stream is just in your content in general, it just shows the authentic you. And so for that, we appreciate you, because whatever negative stuff happens, because there's sometimes you see that even not just in content creators, just people in general, something bad will happen to them in their regular lives, or just something at work, something that happened in traffic, and it just kind of sticks with them all day and it oozes off to everybody else. Being able to just learn that lesson, mold from it, and just ooze positive energy, we appreciate you for doing that, because every time you create content, it's just something fun to watch. It's never nothing negative, there's never malintent that we can feel. It's just always good, and we appreciate you for that.
No, I mean, thank you. I try to just, I want to bring it. You never know, like, for me, it might be, I'm just going to upload a video because I like playing Pokemon. But for the next person, it might be like, I had a crappy day at school or work or family at home. And like, you never know. So I always try to do like that sort of thing. I always try to help people. Like, some people like it, some people don't. Like, bro, I'm just trying to see you play Pokemon. It's like, okay. Watch the video on mute, but whatever. Like, it's still there. But that's just me. And I try, and I know I have a great community as well when it comes to it, because like, I mean, like this I think also goes into like sponsorships and stuff as well. Like there was a time on YouTube, you do sponsorships, you're like, oh, you sell out, you do this and this. But for me, it's like when I do, I'm like, man, Joey does this all the time, every day. You know what? get your money, man. And,
Yeah.
and I mean, I truly appreciate that, especially during these times as well, where money is a lot lower. Stuff helps me out.
Oh, so yeah, for sure.
This next question is from, so I'm gonna have to put some preferences on this because Howler is a good friend of mine. He actually DM'd me to kind of clarify this question a little bit. So this question is from @PlatinumHowler, good friend of mine, great Draft League battler. First, I'll read what he put on Twitter. He said, "I'd like to formally apologize for my dumbass tweet directed towards you from roughly a year ago. Can you think of a time you've ever said something equally as dumb or immensely regretted it?" Essentially, like, have you ever said something on a public platform and you're like, oh man, I really wish I didn't say that?
Maybe not a public platform as much. Also, I have no idea what that dude said to me, but I feel like if I know me, I might have been just sarcastic in my reply.
He knew you'd say that, so he DM'd me and he showed me the Twitter post. So he says, not happy with Joey Pokeaim spoiling part of the Pokemon Sword and Shield decks on his recent YouTube thumbnail. Good enough reason for me not to unsubscribe from him. So essentially he was trying to not get any spoilers and it just kind of happened on YouTube. So he just flared up and put that up on a platform and then instantly regretted it, which is what the reference is. That like maybe you had an anger impulse that you just threw up on Twitter or maybe Facebook or any Instagram post or anything like that. You're like, oh man, I shouldn't have done that.
And I'm curious to see how I replied to him as well. But
open up the tweet. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure I know how I replied.
Let's see.
I think there's definitely been times where I would vent before.
Oh, okay.
You just said LOL.
Oh, I just laughed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that sounds like me.
That's better.
I think the reason I laughed is because I had covered everything and like it was a silhouette. Like, bro, like this could have been a damn Digimon for all you know.
Yeah.
It must have been a silhouette, like, or something. Oh, that was the national decks. Like I talked about, I put like Volcarona and stuff are coming back. I think it was either that. It was one of those two. But there definitely were times like I've been like impulsive, especially more as a kid. I do think though that it is important to. First off, I think it's important to understand that people do grow and do change. I think that's very very true. And I know, like, maybe my friends, I might have said something stupid that I meant as a joke, but didn't mean it in a way. Like, I know when there was a time me and Shofu were going back and forth just for fun. We were literally in call laughing, but like, yeah, let's start some Twitter drama. But like, I think I said something that might have been taken the wrong way. That other people got upset about it. I was like, I'm sorry, I'll take it back. Shofu didn't care. I didn't care. But I don't know if like equally as dumb and immediately regretted it. If I think something's stupid, I'll just take it off on Twitter and go on my day. Like if somebody caught it, like I guess the difference is like I don't care as much what somebody would think of me. Like if they're gonna like me, they're gonna like me. If they're not gonna like me, they're not gonna like me. Type of thing. I'm not gonna go out of my way to please everybody. But like if I said something like maybe back in the day, I might have said something wrong, and I definitely would go back on it now if something was still around and I was called out and I'm like, I was stupid, I was a different person, type of thing, But I don't know. Like I said, I think it's just important to see, like from this thing. It doesn't necessarily answer the question, but like people do change, people do grow.
Yeah,
people can get better, not all the time, but they can get better.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing, so. Exactly. Also, I forgive you for it.
I forgive.
Like I said, man, I don't think it meant a lot to me because all I did was put LOL.
Yeah.
At the time, that was it.
That's amazing. So how there you go, man?
Lowercase LOL too, right?
Yeah, it was a lowercase LOL.
Yeah, it was a sarcastic LOL.
I love that you know yourself enough to remember exactly what you put without exactly remembering what the situation was.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
That's just it. I know, like I said, I know myself.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So the next question that I have here is from Froxy Proxy. She's in my server in the sanctuary, so shout out to you. She came out and she said, I don't necessarily understand the context of this. I'm going to relate this to Draft League, I'm going to assume. And she says, how does it feel to be the luckiest man alive? I'm assuming
posting the sanctuary.
I think that comes from like playing my friends and stuff all the time. I'm very, very lucky. But I feel like a lot of that is just because they see me upload Pokemon and play Pokemon every single day. So of course, if I get a crit once a day for like 10 years, it's gonna feel like I'm ridiculously lucky if you've been watching me for however how long, right? Yeah. But then like I have the same chance of having it as everybody else does.
Yep.
RNG is the same. like type of thing. So
it likes to strike whenever it wants to.
Yeah,
it's like a
exactly. Now it is very consistent when it comes to monotype, but I mean, like I don't know. I feel like I have a sixth sense when it comes to like freezing and crits. Like if I feel it inside my head, it will happen. But
yeah, it's like I was talking about those with my friends, that if you, not necessarily if you say it out loud, but if you feel it enough to understand that this is about to happen, you can kind of almost speak it into existence.
Yeah,
almost like manifestation in a way. Like, oh, here comes the para, and then boom, there it is. Oh, here comes the flinch. I should have said that out loud.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. And I think a lot of that also comes from like understanding the game as you keep going too. Because maybe it's not necessarily saying like making it actually happen.
Yeah.
Of course.
It's like, okay, I acknowledge my win con is me critting you 3 times and doing this. Let me play to that, and it's gonna it can happen.
Yeah.
It's odds at the end of the day. So no, for sure. But I understand why people call me lucky. I've been really lucky in this season of the WB as well.
That is where I was going to kind of stem off to. This isn't on Twitter, but I kind of want to keep this on the same subject. Your most recent video that you had, I believe it was with Steve. It was against the Como. It was the very first turn. First turn, second turn, you tried to click Hurricane, and then you went for a second time. You missed again.
I remember hearing
What is the feeling? Do you kind of, in a way, almost see red and try your best to get your composure back for the rest of the matchup?
Nah, definitely not that much.
Yeah.
Maybe if that had been hacked multiple times, like if it was like I said, like the third or fifth battle in road top 10, I'd be like, oh my god, I'm so annoyed. But like in that case, it's like I kind of just say sarcastically, well, it's good, I dodged that type of thing. So, but immediately it's like if I get too much, like I'll go on tilt if that happens. So like the best thing to do is figure out, okay, how the hell do I win from here? And I mean, I managed to do it. So. Like with some like doubles and stuff like that. So like maybe the game got harder because of that. Because Amon literally killed like everything on his team. He didn't care.
I think my favorite part about hearing that in the video though, because he was listening to it in the car, it was in the very beginning. So you were like, well, it missed. And then you laugh it off and you're like, well, let's do it again.
Yeah. Truthfully, I probably would have been more upset if he had saved Como after when I went Vanillix. I think he should have, but also at the same time, that mon's very hard to switch into. But I mean, if he thinks he could take Hurricane from Specs and Overland, then maybe he thinks he could take Blizzard from Relax type of thing. But yeah, it was fine. Like the 1-for-1 was fine. I like that game in general. I think shows how you have to adapt to things. Like I had to play aggressively with like, it's not even aggressively. Like, I kept in my Vanillix on his Barraskewda because if he flip turned as I went slow, bro, and he went Chandelier, he got a kill. And if he did that any time, he'd get a kill. So it's more so just figuring out what I got to sack and how I got to position myself to give myself a fighting chance. Because I rather lose by taking risks than safely lose. Like, I had to play that game super safe and just lost. I would have lost.
Yeah, it's the end goal of this part of the conversation is more towards for those who draft league or play draft league or just starting in a draft league. Whenever you feel that urge to just rage, it's fine, but being able to find yourself to calm down and gain your composure and just basically adapting to whatever's going on at the time to find an end goal to end up winning the game. Joey's a good example of that, because I personally had struggled with that in the beginning, where something would happen or I need a certain move to hit and it doesn't, or I need to get off a certain move and I flinch, get fully parried, etc., and it doesn't happen. It basically ruins plan A, but it hindered me from finding plan B and being able to adapt to be able to find a new end game to win the matchup is something that you can learn as a new player and even as an experienced player. Sometimes the rage stuff really does take over.
Yeah, it definitely puts you on, like I said, like we call it tilt. You lose the game and you bring it into your next game. But I mean, to be fair though, like that's also not always if Toxapex is my answer to Dragovich and my Toxapex gets crit twice and the rest of my team loses because of it, like type of thing, like and I'm talking about, like, I even switched out to get Regenerator to come back in so I can live the next hit and recover off, but I get crit again and I die. Like sometimes you can't do anything about that, and that's unfortunately you gotta accept that that's Pokemon. But like in a situation where like I still had outs, like I wasn't completely out of the game yet, like I still saw like that thing where that meme where it's like the dude from The Hangover. That's like, what was he? I think he was playing poker. It was like counting cards or whatever, and then has all that math around him.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, exactly. At that point, you just see all the different routes you can take, and then just pick the right one and hope it works.
Yeah. So hope you guys take that lesson and move forward with it, because I definitely.
It's a good life lesson too. Aside from freaking Pokemon, is adapt.
Find a new route. Adapt to what you got.
Yep.
And then the last question that I have here is actually the most important question of all.
Oh, jeez.
This is from @super_Nico. He asks
2018.
2018, I'm sorry.
Yep.
He asks you, do you eat pho?
I've had it twice. And it's actually when I went to California. It's very good. Very, very good. Barrow, Duncan's wife, Duncan Can't Die, excuse me, not Duncan. Duncan Can't Die's wife took us to this place, me and Envy, and I had some, and it was really good. Yep. I was like, oh, this is really good. You know, I like this a lot. It's like soup with more pasta, and I love it.
Yeah,
why wouldn't I like that? You know, like that's great.
His inner Italian is just
oh my gosh, with the
not even just my Italian, like, you know, we eat sopa de res and sopa de pollo, like whatever you want, like type of thing. So like both of them was like, oh, this is really good. Like I have it, and I'm like the type of person that I'll eat soup in summer, you know. So, like,
yeah, same.
Summer,
it'll be 100 degrees here, and I'm like, you know what sounds bomb right now? Some pho.
We get some gnarly summer days out here. It'll hit like in our little hometown area where we live specifically. It can get to like 113 to 120, and we're like, you know, half naked trying to keep ourselves as cool as possible. Then homegirl comes out at night, and it said, "Did you decide what you want for dinner?" And she comes out with this piping hot of noodles. I'm like, what are you doing? She goes, "It tastes so good." She's
it's
like
so
super
good.
sweaty.
It's in the best places. The best places for pho are like the hole in the wall, like just random places. They're the best.
So if you ever find a hole in the wall place over in your hometown, you should check that out, because it'll probably be the best thing you've ever tasted.
Yeah, for real.
No, I mean, that's it. Straight up. Like the place that looked like is run down.
Yeah.
Garage, and like the kids running around. That's the place you're gonna get the food.
Yep, exactly.
So shout out to everyone who threw questions out. Really do appreciate it. Made this a lot more fun. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Again, if you guys aren't already, follow me at Grandmaster D-Ray. We'll do the same for the next week's guest moving forward, so you guys can participate a little bit more with whichever person's here with us. And that's all we got. Joey, do you have anything else coming pretty soon? Do you want to? The floor is yours if you have anything to plug.
I mean, I'm excited about the DLC that's coming out. Hopefully by
November. Oh yeah,
we're in that season again.
Yeah, that metagame's gonna be. I can't wait to get some leaks and stuff going on, so I can make some videos about it.
Yep.
We get the new season of Wi-Fi as well, where they actually have bands. So I'm actually like pretty excited for that too. Like I don't got to deal with like broken Cinderace and Battle Stadium 3v3 if I don't want to, and things like that. So we got a lot of cool things coming up, I guess. And I want to transition to more than just short on lives daily, but do like guides and little talking videos, which I kind of started to do. Yeah, in terms of anything like it's exciting, I mean, it depends what you get excited about. For me personally, it's like I just want to play Pokemon every single day. So
100%. I'm gonna squeeze this one little question in there, since you brought up the DLC, because the DLC is a whole other can of worms we can open up, right? Spoiler alert, guys, for those who haven't seen this list, I'm sure, Joey, you've seen the Pokemon that'll be released in the Crown Tundra. If you guys don't want to, hear his prediction or his favorite that's coming out, hit the mute button for the next, 20 to 30 seconds. If you were to say one Pokemon that's released from the Crown Tundra you're most excited to see in the draft league scene, in the competitive scene, one Pokemon that you saw that you're like, man, I cannot wait for this Pokemon to come back, what mon is that?
I think it has to be Coco. Tapu Koko, for sure. I mean, this one obviously isn't like leaked in a sense. Like everybody knew Tapu Koko come back. Of
course.
But it gets close combat. It gets player off now. I think it's going to get rising voltage as well. Like that mon was already one of the... that mon was a pick 1 through 5 in draft, right? And now it's like, it's even more, in a sense. And I mean, Tapu Bulu as well, and the same thing. Gets close combat, gets grassy glide. Yeah, play rough as well. Like I'm so excited to use those mons. But like from a more fun standpoint, I would say Metagross. Metagross, I think it's a great draft league mon. And I hope it gets some crazy stuff. I know it doesn't, as far as we've still confirmed, but sometimes things aren't 100% accurate. Like they said, X-Mon did not get, like they said, I think they said Gyarados didn't get Power Up or something, but then it ended up getting Power Up or something like that. There was something like that. So I'm hoping to get close comment on my Metagross. I don't think it's going to happen.
Man, oh boy.
Let's
not talk too OP now.
I want that. I want Shift Gear. I'm waiting. But we'll see what ends up happening. Those are definitely the mons I'm most excited to eventually use. Just play with. And hopefully I can get to use Melmetal and Dracovish again if they get unbanned and Small Meta. So we'll see.
So guys, if you guys haven't already, now when we have the new DLC coming out, please, down in the description below, I'll leave a link down to Joey's channel. Most likely, probably 95% of you that are listening to this right now are already subscribed, but if you're not, make sure you head over there, because when the DLC drops, he does post a lot of how to use videos, which are really informative. Being able to use a new Pokemon, maybe a Pokemon you haven't used before, understanding new move sets, how to use the Pokemon. Phenomenal way to educate yourself, especially if you're new in the Pokemon community. Yep. And just the content he's going to pump out in general, because the Crown Tundra, like he said, is going to open up the gates to so much new content, and it's going to be an exciting time for the community. Please head down there, hit the subscribe button, and you won't regret it. Joey's an amazing content creator. Summer, do you have anything else before we say?
No, you're a really great guy. One thing that we've had of past guests is a lot of their common thing that person is you, of you helping them or you inspiring them. So I just wanted to say that, like, even not knowing that much about Pokemon, you seem like a great person. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh, thank you very much. It's very kind. You guys seem like great people too.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys taking the time to talk to me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Joey, thank you so much for giving us the time. I know it's late for you. You're on that East Coast time.
Yeah.
I know that you're about to hit that
I'm gonna go
stream.
live anyway.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't sleep.
That's the life, bro. This life we live of a content creator. We love it too, so that way we can unwind with you anytime you post, man. That's phenomenal. Thank you so much. So guys, if you guys enjoyed this episode of the Grandmaster's Table, again, make sure you smash the thumbs up button. Again, if you're new, subscribe. We're doing some fun stuff over here. We got some great content creators coming up on the podcast, and it's going to be a good time. We have another guest lined up next week. You're not going to want to miss it. He's a phenomenal content. He's in the BBR. We'll just throw that out there. That way you guys can get a little bit of a gist of who that's going to be. And you got anything else before we go?
No, we're good.
This is a fun time, Joey. We appreciate you, man. This was fun.
Exactly. It was a lot of fun. The hour and whatever we were in here flew by.
Yeah, for real.
It really does. Guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to get the heck up out of here. Have a great rest of your night, and above all else, be nice. Peace.